Have you ever met someone who completely changed your idea of love, someone who made you feel things you didn't even know you were capable of feeling? If you have, then stay till the end, because this story, it's not just about love, it's about timing, forgiveness, and the kind of connection that can rewrite your life when you least expect it. It all started in a small apartment on a rainy night, the kind of night where the sound of thunder makes you feel both lonely and alive at the same time. Ethan had just moved into a new city for college. He wasn't the loud type, more like the quiet, responsible one who studied too much and spoke too little. His new roommate, Ryan, was the complete opposite, outgoing, playful, and always surrounded by people. The apartment was never really quiet when Ryan was around. But for Ethan, it was fine. He preferred watching people from a distance rather than joining the crowd. Everything was simple until the night Ryan's older sister came to visit. Her name was Lena. She walked in with that calm confidence of someone who knew exactly who she was. Long brown hair, sharp eyes that noticed everything, and a kind of gentle smile that felt like both danger and comfort at once. Ethan didn't think much of it at first. She was just Ryan's older sister, visiting for the weekend. But that weekend, it changed everything. Lena wasn't like the people Ethan usually met. She was older, more experienced, more grounded. She worked as a nurse, often talking about the lives she tried to save, the people she couldn't. There was this quiet sadness behind her laughter, a depth Ethan couldn't stop thinking about. He found himself listening to her stories, asking her questions, just wanting to understand who she was beyond the surface. And for reasons Ethan couldn't explain, Lena started noticing him too. Maybe it was the way he listened without judgment. Maybe it was how his eyes softened when she spoke. But every time she was around, there was this energy between them, unspoken, magnetic, and impossible to ignore. On the last night of her visit, rain poured outside again, just like the night they met. Ryan had gone out with friends, leaving Ethan and Lena alone in the apartment. The lights were dim, the air quiet except for the rain against the window. Ethan was sitting by his desk, pretending to study, when Lena walked into his room. She leaned against the doorframe, watching him with that half-smile that made his pulse quicken. "You always take your time," she whispered, her voice low and teasing. Ethan turned, startled. "What do you mean?" She stepped closer, closing the door behind her. "You take your time with everything," she said softly. "With speaking, with feeling, with realizing what's right in front of you." And then she stopped, her hand resting on the door, blocking it gently, not out of force but as if she was giving him a choice. Her eyes searched his. "You feel it too, don't you?" He wanted to speak, to say something, but words got lost in the thunder outside. Ethan nodded, barely, but it was enough. That night wasn't what most people would imagine. There was no wild passion, no impulsive choices. Instead, they sat there for hours, talking about life, fear, regrets, and what it meant to be brave enough to want something real. Lena told him about her failed engagement, about how she'd stopped believing in love that lasted. Ethan told her about his loneliness, how he always felt invisible, even in a crowd. When she finally left the next morning, there was no goodbye kiss. Just a look that said everything words couldn't. Weeks passed. Life went back to its routine, but something inside Ethan had changed. He started seeing the world differently. He laughed more. He started taking risks, talking to people, writing, exploring. Lena's presence had lit something inside him that refused to go out. Then, one day, he found out Ryan's family was moving across the country. Lena would be gone for good. He almost didn't go to say goodbye. But something in him told him he'd regret it forever if he didn't. When he arrived, Lena was standing by her car, her eyes tired but kind. She smiled when she saw him. "You came." "I almost didn't," he admitted. "But you once said I take too much time." She laughed softly, shaking her head. "You remembered." "I remember everything about you," he said quietly. There was a long pause, the kind of silence that says all the things two people are too afraid to say aloud. Then Lena stepped forward, brushing her hand against his cheek. "You're still young," she whispered. "Promise me something. Don't let timing scare you. When it's right, it's right. Even if it's years from now." And with that, she was gone. Months turned into years. Ethan graduated, got a job, built a life. But he never forgot her, her voice, her words, her warmth. And just when he had stopped expecting it, fate worked in quiet ways again. He was volunteering at a hospital one evening, helping kids with their schoolwork, when he heard a familiar voice behind him. "Still taking your time?" He turned, and there she was. Lena. Older, a few lines near her eyes, but still glowing with that same quiet fire. They laughed, cried, and talked like no time had passed at all. And this time, when she reached for his hand, he didn't hesitate. Because sometimes love doesn't come when you expect it. It comes when you're finally ready to receive it. And if this story touched something inside you, if you've ever believed that timing might be against you, remember this: life always finds a way to bring back what's meant for you. You just have to be patient enough to wait and brave enough to try again.